What's up guys, my name is Spittle and welcome to this tutorial. Today I'll be showing you how to get the sword and shield as fast as possible. This tutorial will be useful for every skill level. It will help you improve your first segment and get you the knowledge so your shield times could get as good as the best. If you keep practicing, of course. For the upcoming things in this tutorial you don't need any knowledge about this game. Besides the basic movement options, backwalking, side hopping, side walking, backflipping and rolling. This tutorial will be able to help you whether you're already running this game for a longer time or planning on running one of these categories. Next up, I'm going to be showing you my first segment until sword, and after that I'm going to explain everything seen and other variations for each skill level, and finally I'll be doing some troubleshooting on common mistakes and how to prevent them. So for further explanations, check out the Ocarina of Time Discord or watch tutorials for your specific category. You should also definitely get the OOT practice ROM to make practicing much easier with the provided tools like save states. Resources are all linked below, by the way. So let's just roll the tape. There will be enough time for you to watch the whole intro when running this game, so we are going to speed it up this time. And that's it with the first part until sword. And now I'm going to explain everything seen and show faster variations of it later on. I'm gonna assume that you already know which version to play on. First off, in the intro there isn't much to cover, besides that you can mash through text with either A, B or C up. You can detect whether your mashing is good or not by seeing no blue square when mashing through the text box frame perfectly. Right after the intro you get up off the bed and move out the house. For that you can just hold up left and left after being on top of the table. After passing the table itself, you can roll to get into the door frame. As a small optimization, you can also hold a little bit more up than left to get in the upper side of the door frame. For this first backflip you can hold up a little bit earlier than the game shows you. So you will be holding up right before the first part of the music plays out. After that you press target, flick down and press A in a quick motion. Once you land on the ground, you continue to hold target until you backflip on the edge later. Hold down and backwalk until you see the top of Link's house appearing. When you see that, you do one right side up and hold down right while you are side hopping. That's what you generally want to do when doing multiple movements in a row. You hold directions while being in a movement like in a backflip or side up, to input the next movement faster and easier. But let's continue. You hold down right until Link has done 2 full steps and hold down after. You hold down until Link's body is fully visible outside the grass and input 1 backflip so you land on the ledge behind Link. While backflipping, you want to hold up right and input a roll after landing and doing a couple of steps. Now you can line up with the right side of the first fence and the crawl space in the background. Once you have adjusted enough, you input a backwalk, backflip over this fence. After passing the fence, backwalk a little bit more. you want to hold down and roll when you are in rolling range for the crawl space. While rolling, just target and adjust your angle a little bit so you can go into the crawl space. If you struggle with finding that range, you can use this white patch on the ground as a visual cue for when to roll. Past the crawl space, you want to backflip once, hold again immediately after the backflip right to side up right twice. Note that you don't want to mash your side up. Doing that is really hard to do optimally, so try timing your side ups every time you do them. As you do the side ups, hold down and backwalk to collect the 2 rupees in the grass and side up left when you notice Link passing the left corner of the wall. Hold right while side upping left and side up right 5 times to line up with the chest, so you just have to backwalk to reach it. Now you only backwalk past the shield, and shortly after, hold down and press A multiple times to open the chest. And that sums up the movement to get sword, and now I will go over movement you can do to get to the crawl space faster. So after rolling here, you want to line up with the crawl space so you don't touch either the bush or the fence when backwalking to the crawl space. After that, you can simply just stop holding target and press A to enter the crawl space. When you do touch either the bush or the fence, you want to adjust your angle by walking down left or down right before entering the crawl space without turning around the camera. When clipping the bush, you want to hold down right, and when clipping the fence, you want to hold down left. Now again, I'm going to show you the full second part where you get the shield, and after that we will go over the whole thing and talk about small optimizations and troubleshooting. First things first, you target the chest and start a backwalk. And now, I'm gonna show you a trick that we call bush push, where Link gets pushed to the side by a bush, so you can save a little bit of movement. Even if you are just starting out, I would still suggest you to set it up like I do in the video shown, because you have to pause in a spot to equip sword regardless. So to set up bush push, you backwalk until the left C button is exactly 3 frames past the corner of the wall. In that pause, you have to equip sword so you can use it later. After that, you want to press target, right and A in unpause lag, so the lag that is generated right after you press start to close the pause screen. After pausing, you have to side up 9 times to get into the bush to get pushed into the rupee. Once you get the rupee, you want to side up left and again input down left while side upping and line up with the middle of the wooden sign in front of us. After being lined up, you can just backwalk, turn around and go into the crawl space. If you are too early and pause either on the first or second frame when the left C button passes the corner, you can just input 9 side ups again and do the same as before, but this time you side out down left a little bit more after getting the rupee to line up with the wooden sign. If you are too late, so every frame from 4 until you hit the wall behind you while backwalking, you want to again side up 9 times to the right, but this time you hold up and try not to press A again, since you would grab the bush otherwise. After that, it's the same movement as for being too early. So side up left twice and side walk down left until you line up with the sign. After leaving the crawl space, you are going to do some movement that looks really fancy, but is actually just to collect the upcoming tutorial rupees in an optimal way. So the first thing you do is flick up, backflip, side up left, backflip again, and while backflipping, press sword to pull it out of the sheath. After that, you want to target the stone and backflip immediately after. Once you are on the fence, just side up once, backflip, side up again, hold no direction and slash the sign. Then backflip again and untarget the sign in the air. It is important that you do not target the sign again, otherwise it will mess up your position and your angle as well. After clearing the maze, you want to flick up left and side up left twice. Once you land on the lower level, you want to walk a little bit for about 2 steps and roll to the pillar. Note that you don't want to spam your rolls. You want to time your rolls after Link stands up again to clear the most distance. Facing the pillar, you want to line up with this left white stain and side up right 4 times and backflip on the fence. Once on the fence though, you want to walk up and jump slash on the first frame Link is falling after being at his peak height. After landing on the bridge, you want to side up left 5 times to collect the rupee and hold up right to jump off the pillar. Once in the air, hold up to adjust your angle for landing on the skipping stone, roll to jump on the second one and do a couple steps to roll off the stone to land right beside the third skipping stone to collect the blue rupee. Afterward, you want to roll once after taking some steps and jump slash to clear the whole stem. Now just roll to enter the shop. In the shop itself, you want to hold up right and up when you line up with the right secret path of the shop. After collecting the blue rupee, you want to hold down and cut the corner close to roll into the shopkeeper. And that sums up the beginner part of this tutorial with a couple more advanced threads you can try. Now I will be going over the expert movement and lastly talk about troubleshooting and common mistakes. After landing on the lower level, you want to hold up left and roll towards the fence and adjust your angle so Link is pointing to the second or third part of the fence. Once you are lined up, you want to start a backwalk and backflip about as soon as you start hitting the fence and hold right to jump off the fence's edge. Again, jump slash on the same frame as with the pillar setup, so the first frame, Link starts to fall. After landing on the bridge, you want to hold up left, input the roll and hold up for a second roll to get the rupee. From there, hold right to jump off the pillar so you land on the skipping stone. Once you are on the shop, you want to hold up right again until you line up with the secret path. Go up into the path and while going up, hold target and backwalk down, until being right beside the table, then roll down left and buy the shield. Now I go over some troubleshooting and what to look out for. When starting out with this, you might grab the left ledge and that's because you either moved between the side ups or you didn't flick up left well enough. Sometimes it will happen that you sidewalk a little bit when trying to do the side ups after the pillar. When that happens, try to hold your angle and backflip on the very right side of the fence, so you get a similar position as you would otherwise. It is important to go to the right enough, so you don't get what we call a short up of the fence. If you fail bridge flip, you have to climb the fence on the very right side, target, and jump off the fence holding up left or up to jump slash. After that, adjust your angle and roll twice to get the rupee. Then, depending on your position, upright or right and fall on the skipping stone. When trying to land on the skipping stone, you will miss it mostly in 2 ways. You either fall off it on the upper side or on the bottom side. If you fall off the bottom side or don't make it on the skipping stone and land right beside it, you can just go around and go on the skipping stone, again continuing moving from there. If you fall down the upper side, you don't have to go on the skipping stone again. Since how the stones work, you can just go on or besides the first one and do the same with the third one. So it works like a start and a finish line. The last common issue, a good thing to know, is that you don't want to talk to the shop girl with A or clip the stem when jump slashing. You always want to fully clear the stem, since it loses around 0.5 seconds clipping it and even more time to talking to her. And that's it for the sword and shield tutorial. Don't be afraid to practice the Kokiri Forest movement a lot. Even though you do it every time you start a run, it's always good to get faster and more consistent even in the beginning of the run. For things that might help you with your practice, you can use the links in the video description. Again, if you have any questions regarding this part or different parts of the game, You can ask those in the OOT Discord, which is also linked below. You can subscribe to my channel and hit the bell if you want to see and get notifications for new tutorials and other content. Thank you very much for watching, enjoy going fast.